Yo, what's going on YouTube? You are about to watch me teaching brand new Counter-Strike 2 players everything that they need to do in order to get a head start in this game. I'm so excited for you to learn from this. If you're new to this game, this is one of the most important videos you could ever watch. Please learn with us, hit that subscribe button. I want to teach you, join my Discord community. Let's go ahead and hop into the server time. All right, so when we are in the buy phase, let's start from the beginning. On pistol round for both sides. Right now, what I want you guys to focus on is just buy armor. Every round. We should never be saving on pistol round because it is so important to building our economy. Whoever wins pistol round is most likely to win that half because you can start stacking rounds on top of each other. You lose pistol round, you don't get that much money, you can't really buy rifles, all that kind of stuff. You win pistol round, you're freaking rich, you can do whatever. So again, the sell button is right here. If you ever buy something you shouldn't, you just do that. You can sell it right away. Also, another little trick is like when we're buying something, say War's like, hey man, can you drop me a Mac 10? You come in here, press your, for me it's control actually, it's not shift. For me it's control and it throws that. I think for some players it might be shift. I'm not sure. I think it's like your walk button or something. I don't know. All right. Everyone's gonna have slightly different key bindings. That's like within the buy menu. We should always, when we win a round, have armor and some sort of gun. Whenever you win a round, you should never, ever, ever not be having armor as the biggest thing, the biggest sin you could ever make. And then the second biggest sin is if you win a round, you should always have a gun, no pistol. Like you're not sitting here and going, oh, I'll buy a deagle this round. Which I didn't see you guys making, and it's a good thing, but I'm sure sometimes we might make that mistake. I don't know. So we're not good with util. That's totally expected for how many hours you guys have in the game. Buy all of these as much as you can. Smoke is #1 priority on both sides. Molly is second priority. Then HE and Flash are kind of interchangeable. You can also drop these to teammates. You know, it can be really useful. Don't really worry about that as much right now. Also, you guys have to, like, if you could get ahead of this, you will become the greatest CS players ever because nobody does this at the beginning. And I spent thousands of hours not doing this. And finally I had to switch in order to get better at the game. Bind each and every one of these to a different key. It doesn't matter what you do. For me, HE is 4. My smoke grenade is one of my mouse buttons on the side. My molly is the other mouse button, and flash is Q. Have these bound. The more you're scrolling to get to different things, the more you're trolling yourself, and the harder it's going to be to think fast and on the fly. Especially for you, Elo, who you said like sometimes it's hard for you to think that fast, do that kind of thing. If you just have the buttons bound to your key, you can be like, you know, 4 is HE, smoke is here, and you don't have to scroll and wait for it. Okay. So yeah, so do you guys have any questions about that before I get into some like theory and showing you map control and stuff?
Does it like matter what buttons you use for the grenades? Because like I pretty much only do utilities and stuff in other games as my mouse buttons.
So
Like
yeah, so no, so the thumb buttons are perfect for it. Like those are like, I would say like you 100% should. For me, I only have 2 of them, and obviously there's like 4 pieces of util that we should be buying. No right answer, I guess, for what buttons you're using. Just make sure it's something that you can click to relatively quick. Okay. Everyone has something different though. Like some people use ZXCV. For me, I have those for other things like different stuff. Like I said, I use 4 for HE and then thumb buttons, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Yeah, and then also I'll just mention this too. Your go-to weapons, if you actually want to develop yourself and get good at the weapons that matter. If you're saving and you're trying to just like have a half buy, save up above $2,000 like we said if we can. P250, Tech 9 are good save weapons because they don't cost that much and they still are very powerful. You know, Mac 10 is a really good SMG because it's so cheap and it can really be good at running and gunning. On T side, you should never really be buying the shotgun or MP7 or Nova or P90. P90, obviously, I'm sure you guys, it's the meme gun. It's funny, but honestly, it's not that practical. Mac 10's your go-to in this category. All right. As far as rifles, you're always trying to get an AK or an op. 1 opper on each team, it should kind of be. So depending on what role you want to play, 4 people are going to be riflers, generally 1 opper. These 2 weapons are your go-to. A Galil is like your force buy option where you're trying to buy, but you don't have enough money. And then, yeah, exactly. And think about the Galil like an M4. And also, I saw you struggling with the Galil, and it's funny because like everyone struggles with the Galil because we got to learn our spray patterns, which is a whole can of worms as well, right? Every gun, obviously, you said you played FPS games. You understand like these games, every gun's gonna have a spray pattern. This one is the weirdest one, but it's not hard. It's just weird. Anytime you have this, just remember the spray pattern is a backward 7. So look, it's literally a backward 7. So we're going to go ahead and do the opposite. So the easiest way to remember is just pull down to the right. Pull down diagonally to the right. And it's going to be good. Anyways, that's kind of what we're trying to buy. On the CT side, we're trying to get MP9 on our like eco rounds. SMGs, by the way, are going to give you more money. Shotguns are going to give you money. Rifles aren't going to give you as much money, but they're obviously stronger. So we're trying to get M4 on CT side and op on CT side. But yeah, okay. So yes, we got to think fast and spawn. We got to do things as quickly as we can. At the end of each round, or even when you're dead, I'm scanning my team's money. And we got to be able to do quick math and be like, can my team afford to buy next round? Okay, if they can afford to buy, I already know that I'm buying next round. I don't need to sit and spawn and think, what do I do? So, you know, just don't be afraid to pull up your tab and see the money that we all got. Okay. So let's go ahead and show you early round. I'm going to show you guys, you could practice this and you can start to dominate the early round a little bit. So one of you guys can come here on Inferno specifically, knife out, because you're fine. You can knife out through here. Pull out your molly and throw a molly off of this wall. So, and that kind of bounced weird, but regardless. So the point of that is it's going to molly off top car early and allow you guys to get forward positions. The problem is we're kind of sitting back here playing save, but it's really bad because we're giving the CTs all the control, all the space. We want to push them off, and if we can get this control, it allows us to sit here and actually hit B site effectively. So just come up here, and I'm showing you the pro way. The noob way is to come here and molly, which I'm happy if you're doing that as well, but the pro way is to just bounce off this wall. You can start to feel like a pro, start throwing things really effectively. Don't even worry about lineups right now, because for me right now, if my team's like, hey Kojo, we're hitting B site, okay cool, I'm coming here throwing this, I'm throwing this smoke that someone just, I have a different one, but someone just taught me today. I'm sitting here and throwing, you know, this molly, and I messed that one up, but we're speedrun this, I guess. And we're mollying off site and doing all this stuff, and of course miss the smoke too. Always happens when you're showing things. But anyways, we're throwing an exec, so we're smoking off these different choke points and making our life a lot easier. Regardless, right now, what I want you to do is understand, look, okay, we're trying to take this control. Also, you can throw this molly to get rid of the guy that's going to be sandbags. Look at that. It's going to get rid of this entire area. You're going to think about mollies like that. Mollies are an easy utility for you to start using. He can't play in this radius. Literally cannot be here with one molly. So then it simplifies the game for us because we throw that molly and now all we're worried about is this area. He can, you know, clear this obviously, but he can only be here now. And then so when we're throwing smokes too, remember that round I was like, oh, smoke CT, and we came out here and we died. Yeah. So also the way I want you guys to start throwing util is you're sitting here and jiggle, back and forth jiggle. Well, one, have your gun out. Okay, nobody's there. Cool. Pull out my smoke, throw it, wait for it to pop. Okay, it's popped and now we're going in. Also with our flashes, I was like, flash high on the right. That was awesome. What you're going to do is flash above your teammates and behind them so that when they run in, they can do this. And then the players on site are going to completely eat that. Oh. So you're always trying to flash behind your teammates. We can get into entry flashes and stuff like that. But for now, I just say, you know, practice throwing flashes behind your teammates when they're doing things. Another way that you guys could help each other is if War wants to peek top mid or something, or vice versa. War's like, hey man, I want to peek mid. War, first smoke off arch for yourself, right? Now you don't have to worry about this. This side is arch side. This is lane side because this is like called lane. This is under porch. Again, guys, I'm going to record this so you can go back and reference all this. So one of you is smoking off arch. The other guy is back here saying, hey bro, I'm flashing lane for you. And you're just banking a flash off of this wall. Boom. It's going to pop up here and blind anybody that's going to be holding. Boom. And now War gets to peek, and it doesn't matter how good your opponents are. If they're full blind, it's the easiest kill of your life. And then again, you're covered. So anybody that was here is like, oh, well, what do I do now? Right? Like, shoot. Yeah. So that's a way to think about utility. Let's problem solve again. Say, you know, have you guys ever died to somebody in this position in here? Yes. So one of the most common ways, and I'm going to show you the pro way, like nobody at your hours or level has ever seen this. So one way is like, we need a molly pit then. If he's in there and we have utility, it's no longer a problem. And that's the way you got to think about all these different nades. The Molotov, the smoke, the HE, the flash. These are all your solutions to the problems you're facing. So we're going to take care of that problem by mollying off pit. That's a great way. So most people will do this. It's kind of risky. Look at how cool this game is, guys. You can come out here and not even be peeking him and throw this molly. And look at this. Boom. It's going to get rid of that. Oh,
That's cool.
we're worried about people on site holding us from halls. What are we gonna do? Cool, we're gonna use one of the tricks that we learned and flash out here. Boom, this is gonna blind everybody out here. So this game is so cool. There's so many opportunities to use this util to make our lives easier. And that's why we're gonna use those resources. The Nard out here, even my channel, definitely watch. I have so much good beginner stuff on my channel that you guys can binge watch and get better at. Of course, self promo right there. And then also like the HLTV, the CS2 Pro POVs, like these are all ways that we can just binge free Counter-Strike content to get better. So strategically, when we're coming on A site, remember the BCT smoke I showed you? This is your most important smoke you could ever throw for the B site. When you were rotating through yourself, remember you were like, oh shoot, I can't see anybody. Like it makes it so you can't really do much. Same thing here on A. This arch smoke is very important for when you go lane. And then when you're coming on the site here, any way you can do it, I don't care if you have to bank it off, however it is, smoking off the moto is what we call it. And that was so bad. But yeah, that was so bad. Don't throw that one. We have set lineups that are really easy for it, but we're trying to smoke off this area regardless, right here.
Yeah.
Because the same thing. So if you're a B player and you're rotating through spawn here, and this is library, by the way, it used to be a library. Now it's like a cellar, but library is, look, it's like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do now? So it's like, okay, coach, like, what are we supposed to do? They smoke CT, and maybe they even throw the good smoke that lands up here. So this is your solution right here. When you're on CT side, this is your way to get yourself a surprise kill. You're going to come in here and start nading the smokes open. Boom, they're running in and you're shooting guys that have their back to you. Because they're like, oh, we smoked off spawn, we're good. We're going to come in here and focus sight. And boom, all of a sudden you blow it open and they're getting killed. Let's go ahead and flip it on the head for CT. Do you guys have any questions for the T side stuff I showed?
Not for me, no.
Okay, so that's like some good ideas for T side ways to do stuff. Also, before I forget, also mauling corner can be really good. That's another simple way, because what are we doing? We're forcing them to either be in here or be out of there now. This is a threshold that they now have to decide where they're going to be. A lot of times players will just run away, and at your level, they are always going to leave this guy out to dry. Sandbags. So we molly corner, boom. Elo's going to molly corner for us. We're coming in here, taking the fight on this guy who's going to be isolated now. We can fight him and take this without anyone punishing us at all from here. So those are like really important mollies that you can throw for control. I think the molly is the smoke and molly are the utility you should really get down, because especially if you're solo queuing face it and doing these type of things, it doesn't require teammates at all. Also, by the way, guys, like a common solution is like, okay, somebody keeps going corner. Cool. Okay, he's going corner. Let's hit him for 50 damage. Boom, 50 damage right there. Cool. He's going sandbag every round. Okay, Elo, let's nade stack this. War and I are going to nade stack this. Whatever. And you guys are going to throw 2 nades sandbags like that. Boom, he's dead. So these are just good ways to look at it. Also, I didn't get to spectate you as much, War, but at least from what I've seen from Elo, guys, get your crosshair off of the ground. Get your crosshair at all times near where you think their head is going to be. Where's their head going to be? Where's their head going to be? And that's a very, very good habit to build, because right now what's going on is unless you guys are completely locked in, you guys are going kind of around the map and having to flick up. You're having to sit here and flick up. And it's not that bad. It's more like this. And it's making your life very difficult. Okay, let's go ahead and talk some CT side stuff. I'll actually join CT side to show a few of these things. So one, if we get a kit. It should be kind of a priority. On Pistron, it's good if somebody has it. It's not necessary, but it is nice. But definitely we want util. On CT side, utility is so important. And let me go ahead and restart this so I can actually get my util back. Yeah, you like the combo?
I like the blue. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it. I actually got him self promo. I actually got him using my own code on Skins Monkey. All right, so Inferno utility. This is like the most important map in the entire pool for utility. So I say your priority is smoke 100%, because what is a smoke? It blocks people off. So if they take this car control, we can sit here and just smoke them off. Boom, recycle smokes. All of us can keep throwing our smokes here. Same thing in middle. Our priority should be to block them off on this angle right here. Because then what do? They all have to sit on their hands back here and be like, oh, well, what do we do now, right? Like, what are we supposed to do? So smokes are your most important tool. If you want to roll in your elo right now where you are at, guys, what you are going to do when you're coming B site is try to get here as fast as you can. Your spawn and your timing 100% matters. Get over here, throw a smoke deep, and if you want, throw a molly close. And actually, you can do the opposite, but I know at the beginning it's going to be a little difficult to get these nades out early. Honestly, it probably is better to molly first to prevent anyone rushing through. Pull your smoke out and then do that. I'd actually prefer if you guys throw it like that.
Okay.
So what's the point of this? The molly is going to land here, making it so that any of these maniacs that are rushing up with like SMGs and stuff are going to just have to run through this and get burnt by it. And also, do you guys know, when someone's in a molly, it makes noise. It literally burns them, and we can hear this burning noise. So you should never, ever, ever be surprised when someone runs through a molly. Which is good, because like if we come through here, throw our molly, we throw our smoke, and oh shoot, like we shouldn't be out here like exposed. Like we should get our gun out and be visualizing that, and then, you know, swing them hard. Anyways, so the point of this smoke is, look, it's gonna smoke this off. Remember when you kept going T stairs right here? It's going to completely take you out of the game. It's going to completely do that. And again, it's going to force a decision. Do the T's go in or do they go out? So if they go in, you know, we're throwing, and again, you're just going to eyeball this, by the way. There's no set lineup. You're literally just eyeballing it where you're bouncing it off of that wall right there.
All right.
It'll land every single time. Just eyeball that and left click it. So ways you can set yourself up. I'm going to throw some complex things at you. You could left click a flash and throw it off of this wall, and it's going to land above the roof up here. What's that going to do? Anyone running up to come fight you is going to eat it, and make sure it lands a little more on this roof actually. So up here. Yeah, make sure it lands up here and not on the corner, or the roof might eat the flash. Boom. It's going to blind anyone running up. Can also, my go-to is like if you ever are stuck in this area where you're here and teammates are there, I always just throw a flash above like this, because it's going to completely blind these guys that are coming to fight your teammates. Actually, don't throw it that deep. Actually, throw it left click and then hold your right click button down a little bit and go like that or something. Or you can always flash above yourself too.
Yeah.
Boom, something like this. But your flashes are going to be your key to setting yourself up and your teammates up.
All right.
Anyways, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So with that molly and smoke, and if there's two of you, the first spawn should be mollying close, and the second spawn should just be, right now I just want you guys to eyeball it. I genuinely just want you to eyeball it. You want to throw a deeper molly that lands in this area. So essentially you're going to have a molly here and here. Look at that. It's so hard for them. Of course they can put the molly out with a smoke, but now it's going to eat them alive, and at your level, they're just going to cook. Anyways, while that's going on, of course you can throw that flash to set yourself up. Swing this like a maniac. If you have a rifle, swing back here. If you have an MP9, get up in their face, jump around, and start eating them up. This is going to be smoked. And if you can get this control, look at this. You can sit here and then war whoever didn't use their smoke. When this one's about to fade, you can re-smoke it. And then when you're out of smokes, you could like silently, don't run away, like silently get back here and maybe do something like jump spotting or jiggle. And then, oh dude, 3 of them are coming back. Guys, 3 of them are coming back B. Again, we're calling out numbers. We're communicating numbers. And then you're running back here, because one mistake I did see you guys making, and both teams were doing this, is you're all just dying up here. We don't need to die up here.
Yeah.
One really cool thing I want you guys to do when you're queued together, one of you guys is going to crouch here, and the other guy is going to jump up on his head. Boom, and get up here. Look, you can have this crazy off angle so that when they smoke CT, boom, you're up here, and you're killing these guys from above.
Oh.
And you're above the smoke. It's so cool.
All right.
Also, if you have an M4, it can be good to play back here on site. You can play this new box angle and sit here and like isolate different fights and angles. It can be good to sit here and hold this. At your level, this will absolutely farm them. If you guys ever have an op, it's so good to hold this angle. People are going to swing you with a smoke out. You're going to kill them. Also here with the op is good.
Okay.
So these are just different ways we can play the sites. Now A site is a much more complicated. There's more, you know, because like look at B. The only place they can really come at you from is right here.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's pretty simple. A site, this is where, again, it can all, so many different timings can open up. You know, we could talk about A theory forever because there's a lot of different things. If you want to simplify yourself, if both of you are here, one way you'll destroy people at your elo is crouch here and boost somebody up on top of this right here. One of you guys gets up like this, and then the other guy, I want him to play below him right here.
All right.
And you're going to farm these guys because they're going to peek mid, and they're going to see both, like 2 guys peeking them at the same time. Which that's good. Also, hey, if you're ever arch side and they smoke you off, again, use your grenade. Use your grenade to blow this open. Boom, look at that.
Alright.
And so for you guys too, if you ever just want to play passive, and you shouldn't just run into this, you should like prod around a little bit, but stay alive. The ultimate Inferno setup for you two as a queue is very simple. You guys could play this in a million ways, but I'm going to break this down for you. One person on anywhere on site, one person on site, and one person in pit. Because you guys could sit here, say you're in this angle, you could hold this run up like this, and when they go to attack site, you're here, and the other guy could be like hiding here with an MP9 or something. So you start shooting them, they whip around to go shoot you, and then he's sitting here shooting them as well. You could also go mini pit. Go mini pit in sight. That's awesome. Balcony in sight is really good. Any sort of sight pit setup is just unbelievably broken. Some angles you could play is like right here. This is a good off angle. Could kill them as they're running in. I jump up here sometimes and hold it as well. You could also sit here and like hold his balcony run out while he's holding the pit angle that I showed you. And then you can pivot here and help wherever needed. Regardless, guys. And I'm not gonna overwhelm you too much, but regardless, what you need to do is start developing defensive smokes on your CT side. So it's cool and all, like I showed you, if we can use our smoke to take down B or to smoke them off here. But what happens when 5 guys are just rushing us and we are like needing to do something? I don't care where you're at. If you find yourself on site here, drop that smoke down in front of you. And you could have done this on your retake, by the way. Boom, we have a defensive wall now that we can play with. They're gonna run in and we can sit here and, you know, have this new way of playing. Essentially, the way I want you to look at it is this entire site is a painting, right? This is a blank canvas. What are the T's gonna do? And especially at high level, they're gonna paint their canvas. They're gonna smoke this. They're gonna smoke this. They're gonna throw a molly here, a molly here. They're painting the canvas in the way that they want it so that you are forced to be on their painting. So what you need to do is paint your own canvas and, you know, drop your smoke down. If you have a molly, molly them off. Throw your flashes so that you're putting your paint on the board. Especially on A, I'm going to show you on A how scary it is. So say 4 guys are running up lane on you. Well, dude, like that's awesome for us. All I'm going to do is drop us. Okay, and I even messed it up. This would still work. I even messed that up. But look at this. They're trying to take A site and they're like, wait, what the heck? Okay, we're just going to come around here. Dude, what? Like, you know, and now you can play angles like this, which you never could have before. This is a bad angle without that smoke. So draw, and especially as a pit player, that molly I showed you where they molly you off, you know, just dropping your smoke down in pit is going to be so valuable for you. Because look, you can play up here now. You can spam around on this side. You know, we can peek around on the right side here. Maybe. Yeah, we could. I guess it's a little deep, but it just gives us so many options.
Yeah.
Defensive smokes on every map you guys play. Defensive smoke. Defensive smoke.
Okay.
But yeah, so do you guys have any questions about any of that kind of stuff?
Not me, at least. No.
No, not really. Although, I do have one question.
Mhm.
So, for different maps, would you find similar things about them and then use those, like, rules and stuff that you were saying to make sure that you're, like, still safe on CT?
Yep, 100%. Every map's going to play slightly different, but the utility and the map control part is still the same. Like, okay, let's look at Mirage for example. You guys know Mirage, right?
Yeah.
So look at B side on there where there's those apartments and like the van, all that kind of stuff. Think about that like banana on Inferno. We're going to use our smoke and molly to block them off so that they can't just come out on site on us, right? So we're going to use our smoke there. If they run us down and they get real close on us on B side Mirage, I'm again just dropping my smoke down and doing the same thing. I'm trying to stay alive because guys, keep in mind the point of the smoke too, by the way, like on any map defensively, is to buy time for our team. If we can get our teammates on A site to rotate in and help us, and we stay alive for an extra 10 seconds or even 5 seconds, that could be the entire difference in the round. So don't always look at the game as kills and look at the game as like deaths. How fast am I dying? Where am I dying? Why am I dying? Just like, bro, on T side, when I told you like, bro, like, you know, you shouldn't be peeking here. You've got 20 health and you already got the info that there's 1, 2, 3 guys here. You did your job already. You did your job. Don't feel the need to swing back in and just give yourself. Be like, 3 guys are down B. Can we react A? And you're knifing out through here. You're trying to get War to go out A with the rest of the team. And you've done your job in the round there. We won the round just based on that info now because we can go take this 5v2 on A site real quick. it's really cool. Like when you pull back the layers of this game and start to think about it in these different types of lenses.
Yeah.
Briefly, I'll go through callouts. Running a little over on time. I'll briefly go over callouts and stuff. So really important stuff is like I generally just call this middle. We call this Mexico, whatever kind of race, but who cares? Mexi. Call this alt mid. Call this arch side, lane side. And again, I'm gonna send you the recording in case you need a refresher. Porch. This whole thing is called porch. If someone's under here, under porch. If someone's on porch, top porch.
Okay.
Lane side, like I said again. This is van. I think we call this van. Would make sense. This is balcony. All of this you can just say apartments, right? This is apartments. This is window room, self-explanatory window. This is boiler. We call this anti-boiler. People have different callouts for this. So also some people, I call it alt mid. Some people will say second middle, second mid. This is bridge. He's outside bridge. This is grandma's house. I think it's because like there's like all kinds of stuff in here. Grandma's house. Obviously T spawn and CT spawn on any map is going to be the same callout. T spawn, CT spawn. This is T stairs. A lot of times the callouts next to the spawns have names too. So T stairs, T spawn stairs. Banana. I'm sure you guys know that one. Banana. Is like all of this. This is car because it used to be a car. This is sandbags. B site. And then on B site you have first orange because it used to be like oranges. First orange and second. You could just say first and second as well. People should know what you mean. Hey, he's first. He's first. Hey, he's second. This is new box. New box. Dark because I think it used to be like dark here or something. But this is dark. This is dark pillar. That's what people call it. This is fountain. You can just say, hey, plant the bomb fountain or plant the bomb here. This is coffin because it has the graffiti still. Coffin. And then this is church. Because, you know, you got the church in here and stuff. Yeah. And speedway, CT spawn, library, like I said. I call this in arch. Europeans have different, every region has different calls too. I call this in arch. This is like arch side over here. So if you're going to arch wrap, it means like, okay, this is another strategy that people are on. You're smoking off these and you're wrapping A through here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's not important right now. This is a graveyard. This is pit and this is mini pit.
Okay.
This is called Zero box. This is default box. And this is, I forget what we call this. I don't know. But not too important. I just, honestly, I found being rushed. Say backside. He's backside. Kill him. And that's ROPS. You can jump up there. You start training your movement. So, also, I don't want to go without showing you default plant spots. No one at your level is going to do this. Stop planting the bomb here as much and plant the bomb here. We want to plant the bomb in a way that lets us play retakes. So we should be smoking Moto. If we can plant the bomb here and maybe War's already in pit, look at this. We can sit here and kill them as they're defusing. If they smoke the bomb to defuse it, we can sit here and kill them. And also, if we plant the bomb there, when it goes to explode, we can sit here and survive in pit. When you plant the bomb here, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Really, no one at your level is going to do that. They're all just going to plant the bomb in random spots, which I'm sure maybe you guys are doing right now. You probably are.
Yeah.
On B site, you should generally be planting the bomb here in this area. It's the safest, right? Literally like right here. Yeah, for the most part, try to get the bomb there. If you're like getting shot at and things are going bad, sometimes I'll plant the bomb here. If I'm on like 1 HP and it's really dangerous to cross, or at a high level, people, if they know you're low and you have bomb, they'll sit here through the smoke and throw this nade. So sometimes I'll be forced to plant here, but don't worry about that right now. Just try to plant the bomb there, and then you can play it from banana and stuff. You can play it here. So yeah. Well, lots of info, guys. Lots of info. Like, honestly, like you should learn a lot of stuff, man. Honestly, from this, like, it should be really encouraging for you, for all of you, for both of you.
Okay.
And just get good at throwing nades and flashes off walls, guys. You're not gonna get better at util unless you're actually getting in a server and just bouncing stuff off of things. Go load up your own practice server and go literally do this. Go here, play button, practice. And go on a map and throw it. If you're really serious about improving, I'd say get a refrag subscription. It will cost you a little bit a month. I forget if it's $5.99 or $9.99. Really don't know. It is totally worth it if you're genuinely trying to get better. It's not necessary. I'd say for your elo and level, for both of you guys, it's not necessary. It's not like a priority, but it would help you. It 100% would. But yeah, you guys are not going to get better at utility. You're not, unless you're literally sitting here and throwing it. Okay, that's how I flash mid. Okay, here's how I flash off car for myself. Okay, if I want to throw an entry flash for my team, I can do this. If I want to flash spawn, I can throw over here. All this should be overwhelming for you now, but genuinely, it is stuff that you can get good at, and you can become better than me, man. Like, there is genuinely some like level 7 and 8 players that I think are better at least set utility, where they're like an encyclopedia. They're like, I know this lineup and this lineup and this lineup. For me, I'm just naturally good at like using my utility as a reaction, as a way to prevent the other team from doing what they want, which is a great skill that you can build.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's endless, man. This game has so much opportunity to like be yourself.